What's going on? It's all on the cards with Kathy. Good. Tickle me tipsy. What's up? How are you? That sounds like that could be real interesting. Spelling starting us off already. And I didn't even have a drink. What's going on, Royale Pirate? Where are you calling from? It's freestyle sessions tonight. I just got to get myself together. Omaha, that's what's up. That's great. Thank you so much. I think that's the first time that we had somebody come in from Omaha. I appreciate that. Thank you. It's Friday, freestyle sessions. It's time to unwind in this thing here. Welcome to the 411 podcast. It is freestyle sessions tonight. It's Friday. It's Friday. We made it. It's October 8th. Crazy, but time just keeps on going and going and going. I guess that's why it's time. But I feel like we'd be floating sometimes through time. I don't know if you feel like that and you'd be like, how did we get here? How did this happen? Weren't we just here? How did that change like that? But anyway, song of the day is My Business, Guy, released in 1988. So this is when I was 8 years old, when I really realized that I, really like music. Probably this is one of the albums that actually really made me feel this way. So Guy, 1988, My Business. Teddy Riley is responsible for Guy. It's his birthday. So happy birthday to Mr. Yep, Teddy Riley. Happy birthday. And of course, Bruno Mars. It's Bruno Mars' birthday today. Happy birthday. So if y'all want to reminisce, y'all can let me know what a couple favorite of your Bruno Mars songs are. And for the old school people out there that know who Guy is, that first album, Guy, what was your favorite song? I mean, I want to just go, I just think about me being a kid listening to that record, spinning that record 1,000 times. Of course, My Business was one of my songs. That was one of the B-side songs that you really didn't know about it until you actually went over to the B-side and all of that great stuff. He's from actually Omaha. So yes, we have Royal Pirate on D Live. Thank you so much for, supporting on D Live. He's from Omaha. What's going on, Mr. Will? But let's get back to this Guy album. Guy, 1988. For those of you out there who know what I'm talking about, and if you're watching a replay and you understand and you know what I'm talking about, that Guy album, what was your favorite song? It's so hard for me to figure out which one was mine because there's so many. Hold on, I'll get you in a minute. Get you up here in just 1 minute, King Boss. Just hang with me. So, Groove Me, I like, and this is just going off of the dome, like just things that I remember. Don't Clap, Just Dance, Merry Go Round, Spend the Night, Goodbye Love. Like that album was just crazy. Teddy Riley is such a genius for that. Anyway, what was your favorite song from Guy, that album Guy? Everyone knows that song Groove Me, and I like I'm sure you've heard it, even if you didn't even want to hear it. You heard it on the radio. My favorite joint off of that album was, I would have to say, Goodbye Love was one of them. And then Piece of My Love, that was it too. I think that was one of mine too. Piece of My Love, Spend the Night. Ah, Guy, happy birthday. Yeah, Merry Go Round. Now, saying that for real, or you just saying that? But they did have a song called Merry Go Round. But if that was one of your favorite songs, that's what's up, though. Off of that Guy album, 1988. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, look it up, YouTube it. What is your favorite song? And of course, it's Bruno Mars's birthday today, so happy birthday to him as well. I want to give a shout out to anybody out there. I want to give a shout out to anybody out there who watches, supports, likes, comments, shares, tags a friend, whatever you do. I definitely appreciate it. People out there on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, not tonight. Check me back on Sunday, but we've been banned from there. But YouTube, Twitter. Thank you to Twitter for, something's going on in there. There's a shift. A lot of people are coming through and watching the replays. So I got to give a shout out to Twitter. And of course, D Live. I never know who's going to come in. Every night, somebody new comes in. We've had people from Arizona. Now we have somebody from Omaha tonight. We've had somebody from Scotland before. The list goes on and on and on. So thank you to D Live. And of course, anybody who's watching out there on Twitch. I want to also say special thank you to Relly 2 Raw. He was in last night and he did a great job last night. We had a good time talking music and having a great conversation. That's Linda Martin Ives and her husband, Jonathan Martin Ives. Switch Clothing Brand, thank you for coming through, supporting fellow podcasters, True Podcast. For Shayla Jules, thank you. She's going to be coming back soon too for this too of the 411 podcast. So we're gearing up right now for that, and she's going to be coming back pretty soon. Miss Rebel Jewel, thank you. I always love you. Sophie Davis, my girl Lavella from California, thank you for coming through as much as you do. I appreciate you. Miss Desiree Covington and Kay Cole, Karma's Paradise. Y'all check out Karma's Paradise. And my brother from Brooklyn, Mr. Nate Perry. Thank you all to anybody who likes, comments, shares. I appreciate you. So now, talking about last night, we have Relly 2 Raw in the building. And of course, you want to go ahead and watch that replay because he definitely dropped some knowledge yesterday. So check that replay out. But what we talked about is, do you think that you can date somebody who's in the music industry? It's a lot of late nights, a lot of different people going to be around your mate that you may not know, different situations. You got the whole groupie situation. Just like I said, you got the late nights, you got the performances, you got the backstage scene, you got all kinds of people trying to get in contact, and you never know who has a hidden agenda. Can you date somebody who's in the music industry? That's what I want to know. Now, I'm not quite sure if he's still out here. Looks like disappeared. Yeah, he left, whoever it was. But if you want to come on the 411 podcast, you can text me at 609-738-0611, and I can get you up on the phone, or you can request me live on Instagram as well. Can you date somebody who's in the music industry? Not quite sure that I would be a candidate for that. Some people can deal with somebody being all over their mate and pulling them in 50 million directions and that type of stuff. I don't know if I would be a fan of all of the extra stuff that would be surrounding at the time, if I could put up with that. Musicians live a hard life. It's rough to put up with that. And not even to mention the other people, because your mate could be strong, willpower, and be dedicated to you. But what about the extensive work schedule and the time apart that you would have to spend I don't think I could do it. Now, also, we talked about what do you do when your spouse does not support your dreams? Now, that's heavy. That's real deep. So, your spouse does not support your dreams. What do you do? I think Miss Rebel Jewel said that she would actually get a divorce if somebody didn't support her dreams. Let me check and see what she actually wrote here. So, burning question is, what do you do when your spouse or your significant other cannot support your dreams, or they don't understand or see where you're coming from? And Miss Rebel Jewel says, my instant answer was divorce. Oh, my. I don't know. You need someone with more patience than me to answer this question. And it's not so much patience. I think I understand and I know where you're coming from, because why be in a situation when someone's not going to support you? Makes no sense. All you're going to be doing is going back and forth, exchanging bad energy and, bumping your head. So you most certainly do need to be in a situation where somebody supports your dreams and understand. And maybe they can't even see your vision or your dream 100%, but at least to be able to support you and be on your side. That's at least half the battle. So I would say for me too, absolutely, the relationship would have to end, and just hopefully that it's not a marriage, because that would be a rough thing to, tell somebody to end their marriage. But man, that has to be a rough situation and a rough life to go back and forth with somebody who can't even see and can't even support and understand and know where you're going. That's rough. So if divorce is down the pike, it's probably going to happen eventually anyway. If you're really passionate about your dreams and your vision and your goals, and it's that burning desire, and you wake up with it, you go to bed with it, you eat with it, everything with it, it's probably going to end up with divorce, because I'm sure if it's that deep down inside of you, you're going to push through and keep pushing through and being persistent. And it's only going to cause some, separation maybe. And of course, that's what would happen. But if that passion is not really there, that strong, and you're able to go ahead and put that on a back burner for your mate, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing either, but let's just hope that that mate doesn't do pull a 180 on you. Because if they pull that 180 on you, then now you're going to be feeling extra different, because damn, I put my goals and I put my dreams and I put everything on hold for you, and now you ain't even hearing it. So now look at all of the time that I've wasted and all of that energy that I wasted putting myself back burner for you. That ain't good. So now the weather's changing. The leaves, at least where I'm at here, the leaves, I'm sure people are at different places. But weather's changing. We already know it's back to school, especially during this time frame, Halloween, all that stuff. So we really into school. But now the pressure is on because the kids are back in school. You might have to hustle 2 or 3 jobs to provide for your family. That child, whether it's that teen, they might have some extra pressure now, because now we got to go back to school. We got this COVID BS that's still not 100% out of here yet. And now I have to deal with my homework, deal with my siblings, be the backbone for the household. All types of stuff might be going on. What type of advice would you have for that child out there? It might be teen, you could say child, you can say teen, who basically has to be the whole support system for the household. They gotta go to school. They gotta maybe help with their siblings. They might have to go home and they might have to cook. They might have to clean. They might have to do whatever they have to do, plus do homework, because maybe their parents or parent struggling to make things work, may have to hustle 2 and 3 jobs, may not be there after school, may not be that support system. What type of advice? Because you know that there's people out there like that. Maybe you were one of this type of teenager or child growing up where you actually had, it almost felt like you had the weight of the world on your shoulder. It's bad enough going to school as a teenager. I'm just trying to rewind, go back to when I was in school, middle school, high school, the pressures, the peer pressure, everything. It's hard enough dealing with that. But now, how many kids out there have to actually deal with the pressure of maybe taking care of a sibling, cooking, cleaning, getting their homework together too? Maybe a parent may not be 100% fit to be a parent. Maybe they're struggling with any type of addiction or something like that, or there might be alcoholism going in, or let's just keep it real. What's going on? There might be just outright, I lost my train of thought. You might just have a parent that's just outright disrespectful. I'll put it that way. Ripping and running the streets. Could care less about what's going on at home. What advice do y'all have for that child out there, that teenager out there that got the world, feels like they got the world, the weight of the world on their shoulders? I see you trying to request. You can come on, but it seems like you keep canceling that. So if you'd like to come on the 411 podcast, anybody out there, just take notice. We do this every Friday. So if you're watching a replay, you can't come on here now because the show is over. That's fine. But just remember, next week, this time, Friday, we do freestyle sessions. And you can text me, 609-738-0611. And I can get you up on the phone here. Or you can request me live on Instagram. So we could do it that way. Now, I know I'm getting ready to get some people thinking. So we already talked about, it's that time. Back to school is in session, all that great stuff. It's no secret that the holiday season is going to be here right before you know it. After Halloween, we're going to flow right on into Thanksgiving. And then you know what happens after that. So this holiday season, do you have a budget? Do you have a plan as far as how you're going to spend those few extra dollars this holiday season? Is there a budget and plan? How do you typically do it? Do you just spend? Do you charge and you worry about that next year? How does that work? You got a budget this year? Are you planning? You know exactly what you're going to spend? Or are you doing it the traditional way for you? Now, I don't know what that means, but sometimes it means, fuck it, let's just go ahead and spend whatever we spend, and I'll worry about the bill next year. Income tax is coming. We're going to put it on a back burner, and I'll pay it off when I pay it off. That's reality for some people. What are you doing this holiday season? You got a budget this season? You spending your money wisely? Do you know exactly what you're going to be purchasing, when and where and how? Or are you just going along with the plan and going with the flow and seeing what happens? Speaking of which, this is another thing. So I don't really watch too much TV, and I really don't pay attention to too many ads. So What is like the hottest gift this season? Typically, there's something out there that everybody wants. I don't know. What's going to be that hottest gift that you're going to get this year for somebody? Or what is it that you want this year? I'm not sure. I don't watch too much TV, so I don't know what's out there. I don't know what everybody's going after. But let me know. What is the hottest thing out there that everybody's going to be going crazy for? Are you going to be a part of that process? Welcome into the 411 podcast. So now that we're talking about money, we can just stay on this money tip here. So I asked this question earlier this week, how are you taking, responsibility for your financial future? So I want to go ahead and flip it a little bit and ask, how are you leading by example when it comes to financial responsibility? Not only just that, but in your household. Like, what are you teaching, your children and your household when it comes to financial responsibility? So now, typically your kids are going to pick up what they see you do. So you do have to lead by example. And if you ain't leading by example, typically you really are, even if you don't even know you are. Whatever's happening, whatever you're doing, your kids are probably going to pick up one way or the other. And they're going to probably, repeat something that you've done in some sort of form or fashion. It may not be exactly like what you've done, but they're probably going to go through and stumble through and do some of the same things you've done. Hopefully you're showing them all great things, because if it's the downside of it, then unfortunately your children may go through some of the rough things that you've exposed them to or shared with them. So on a positive note, let's talk about something positive. How are you leading by example? Are you showing them how to handle their money properly? Are you discussing budgets? Are you talking about how you spend things, where you were at their time frame, where you see yourself, where you see them? What's going on? Because that's one scale of it. Then there might be leading by example, which I'll leave you to debate whether it's the right way or the wrong way. Do they see you with all of the latest and the flyest gear? Do they see you going to the mall, buying out the mall, swiping everything, buying everything? So how are you leading by example when it comes to, financial responsibility? Because your kids probably are going to have some sort of repeat action. Some version might be a mellowed down version. It might be an exaggerated version to the 10th power. They might take what you've done and they might catapult it to a whole nother level. Well, let's hope that it's something good. They might be super savvy. They might learn how to budget their money and invest money and take it to the next level because you showed them just a little piece of it, and then they picked it up and then they took it to the next level. That could be one aspect of it. Or they could see how mommy, daddy likes to go out to the mall, shop, buy this, buy that, be reckless here, sometimes be reckless there. And they could pick that up and they could repeat that same process at the same rate, at the same pace. Or they could take that and they could crash and burn to a whole nother level. So, how are you leading by example when it comes to financial responsibility in your household? How's that going down? Now, I want to switch things up a little bit. I got another question for y'all because this just blows my mind sometimes. Have you ever just been doing so good? I even use the words of my girl Mary J. Blige. Have you ever been feeling just fine? And then you enter into an environment where the energy levels are a little rough. Those waters are a little rough. There might be a little murky territory, and you don't quite know how to fit in that type of situation. How do you deal with that, man? Because it gets so crazy sometimes. And, I'm speaking from experience because sometimes I can be just fine. I could be just great. And then somebody else's energy is just not right. I'm not feeling it. And it's just puts me into a whole situation. And even though I ache sometimes, all the time, let's not say sometimes, because I'm never stuck there. But even though I escape, right? The aftermath of it, like the feeling that you get once you're away from that situation, right? You're away from the person, you're away from the group of people, you're away, whatever. I know we all got our different issues and our struggles and situations that we got to be, participate in. The aftermath, does it ever get you jacked up where you be like, man, how did that happen? How did I go in there one way and come out the other way? You really got to stay prayed up all the time because you never know when the things are going to shift. I mean, everything can be just going great, 1 minute, and then 5 minutes later, you in a whole nother dimension, dealing with a whole nother situation, dealing with a, different group of people, energy, crazy. And, it's easier said than done. Oh, I got this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make sure I stay prayed up. I'm going to make sure this, that, the other. And those are all great things. And we need to do that. But sometimes we could get caught off guard. And that's the situation where, dag, I got all of the protection that I need. I know who my father is. I got all of the protection that I need. But they just caught me off guard at this particular time. At one of my, I was just caught off guard, was just caught off guard. Sometimes you have to say that, like, wow. But afterwards, once you get away, once you move on, how do you deal with all of that draining situations after it's all said and done? And you'll be like, ugh, how? How did I let that happen? I don't know. Is there anybody out there that know where I'm coming from when it comes to that? I want to say very special thank you, man, to people on Facebook. I appreciate you. I definitely do. Friend request me on Facebook at Laren Gaines. Um, Special shout out to Instagram people. Thank you so much. I see y'all out there. Y'all hang out there with me late at night. Some of y'all be falling asleep to me at night, and that's cool too. That's one of the strangest things that I've heard. Somebody says, "Hey, Laren, I take you to bed with me every night," and I just crack up because it sounds so funny. I've had a couple people tell me that. I've been told that my voice is just so soothing at this hour that it, helps people, relax and go to sleep. So that's cool. I know it sounds a little weird. Sounds like, ah, yeah, I'm falling asleep to you in a boring way. But I've been told that my voice is very soothing, and that's good, and I appreciate that. Um, and of course, I'm gonna have a new experience for y'all coming to TikTok once we get back up and running. I got a couple things I need to, fix and put into place, but yeah, there's gonna be a whole new experience on TikTok in a few this weekend probably. And then of course, people out there on YouTube channel at Laren Gaines as well. Everything is at Laren Gaines. Go ahead and subscribe over there. I would definitely appreciate that. And then of course Twitter. Shout out to people out there on Twitter watching those replays. I appreciate you. And D Live, love D Live. All of the love, support, man, has been great from D Live. I definitely do appreciate every single person for coming out there when they come through. And then of course Twitch. So yeah, we're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, D Live, and Twitch. And just want to say thank you. I appreciate it. All of the people showing love and support. It's definitely great. Another way that you can support the 4-in-1 podcast and, of course, Reading Between the Lines is by clicking the link above all of my social media platforms. And inside there, I have a shop, which is called Black Diamond. And anything that you purchase from there will help support 4-in-1 podcast and Reading Between the Lines. So for Reading Between the Lines, for those of you that don't know, maybe you're catching this for the first time, but I come out every Wednesday at 8 o'clock and I sample wine and we read books. We have different authors and, writers and, stuff like that come on. And we just chop it up, have some wine, talk. I have my co-host. It's all in the cards with Kathy, and she just takes it to a whole nother level. So it's something different. Here we were mellow, we're chill, we're cool. We turn up here and there. And, we got to watch some of the things that we say here on the 4-in-1. But Reading Between the Lines is just it's a different thing. So every Wednesday at 8 o'clock. And I definitely want to say a shout out to every single author, writer who's come on there. We've had some great guests. One of my favorite shows, I would say, I got to think. There's two shows that really cracked me up. Someone reminded me the other day, man, I watch your show and you and that Kathy, you're so funny. And I don't know what show I was watching one time, but the person went this way and the wine bottle went the other way. I said, oh yeah, that's that one where the wine bottle bust all over the floor. And to hear people tell me that, like, when I've never talked to the person before and it's the first time that they're telling me about it and I actually hear them talk about it, it cracks me up. And I'm so thankful for it that people, watch the show and they get something from it. But man, I love it. Lavella from California, she's definitely a fan. She loves you, Kathy. So man, she loves all of the crazy stuff that you do. But that is one of my favorite shows. Man, I laughed at my own show for like a good 2 weeks straight off of that one. And that is funny, where I actually sat back and I watched it over and over again, cracked up. All right, now I got 3 shows now. So that's one. Most recent was the show with Robert Stubblefield, Reading Between the Lines. When he told me about his father making that man eat them bananas. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, you need to watch the replay. And then I guess one of the third, number 3, I would say with Miss Anonymous, when she started talking about her boyfriend, ex-boyfriend. And that's all I'm saying. She talked about the ex-boyfriend and explained things in a little bit too much detail. And that's why her name is Miss Anonymous. Y'all need to go and watch that. Oh goodness, that show was something else, man. Those are the three where I was cracking up like you would not even believe. Oh man, reading Between the Wines every Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Wow. I just want to say thank you so much for hanging in there with me tonight. So tomorrow we got Majestic Haze coming in the building. Sunday we have fashion designer X Threads. Can't wait to speak to her. That's going to be real great. And of course, like I said, thank you, thank you, thank you. Facebook, Instagram. Love my Instagram family. People out there on Twitter, thank you as well. D Live, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And of course, I have to thank my executive producer, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, for allowing me to come out here and give you all the 4-in-1 podcast one more time in life. Because without him, none of this would be possible. And of course, without y'all out there watching the replays, liking, commenting, coming in, when you come in, it definitely will not be possible. And I just want to say thank you so much. And I'll catch y'all tomorrow. The K's will be in the building. Good night. Thank you.